Hi, welcome to knowledge base video on IDEs and compilers for microcontrollers. There are different manufacturers of microcontrollers like Atmega, Microchip, and NXP, Texas Instruments, ST. There are a lot of them, and they have different tool set for their microcontrollers. So PIC has uh, their own IDE called Mplab, and they have compilers like high-tech compiler C18, and latest one is XC16, XC8, XC32, like that. And there are third-party tools also like GreatCow Basic, CCS compiler, and there are few other open source compilers like GCC, and few of them are based on basic also, like micro basic and cow basic and all. So there are different tools depending on languages what you want to on based on what you program, and architecture, so architecture of the microcontroller. Okay, so Atmega has a AVR Studio. ARM has basically ARM doesn't manufacture their own chips. It is actually given for license. So whoever manufactures microcontrollers based on ARM, like TI and NXP, they have their own tool sets. Like LPC Espresso is from NXP. There is a Keel, which is a third-party IDE and compiler set, and EMIDE Code Composer Studio by TI, and GCC cross compilers. There are a lot of them available, and the popular one is Arduino. Uh, Arduino is basically a different architecture based on Atmega processors. It has a bootloader, and it has a AVR GCC compiler, and the entire programming style is little different than the conventional C programming in our regular processors, I mean compilers. Okay, so let me show you some of the IDEs. This is IAR Embedded Workspace IDE, and most of the IDEs will look same because it is only a text editor with features of debugging, release code, and settings like that. But the strongest part of IDE is like it integrates everything, like debug tools, hardware tools, like in case if you have different tools for debugging, it can communicate with it. And it has in the backend you can basically configure a lot of things for compilers, compiler settings, optimization settings, all those things, which makes it easy. That is why we have IDE, integrated development environment. This is a Keel, and this is a Keel website. Okay, I just closed micro C. Okay, so I would like to show you some processors and development kits by Microelectronica. Microelectronica has a lot of uh, development kits, and they have their own compilers. So Micro C is a C compiler, Micro Basic is a basic compiler, and Micro Pascal is for Pascal compiler. And they have this compilers for each of the product, like PIC, DSPIC, PIC32, AVR, 8051, ARM, and FT90X series. And they have a lot of development tools, programmers, and debuggers, and they have add-on boards for all their development tools. Okay, so let me show you the micro C compiler. Okay, I'll show the demo of the compiler itself. Okay, so instead of showing the screenshots and all. Okay, so after all these things, like because we are concentrating on PIC microcontroller, that is what I am going to teach you. My tool set is Mplab X, and compiler is XC8 compiler. Okay, so Mplab X and Mplab 8, I'll show both. Okay, Mplab 8 I'll show for initial videos, couple of videos, and I'll switch to Mplab X because that is the latest version, and everyone the lot of features what it gives is what you have to learn for advanced things. Okay, so and one more thing is like it is better to flow with latest technology than sticking back to the old ones. Okay, so PIC has a lot of compilers, so you can actually install Mplab IDE, and then you can integrate high-tech C or CCS tool chains and all. There are a few tool chains given in that. You can just select from that. Okay, but you had to install compiler separately. That is the thing. You had to install Mplab IDE separately and the compiler separately. So if you see here, Mplab has, I mean, like Microchip has different compilers for different architecture. C8 is for 8-bit architecture, that is PIC 16, PIC 18, PIC 10, 12, all those things, and XC16 is for PIC 24, PIC 30, and PIC 30 series, 33 series. And obviously C32 is for 32-bit architecture, that is PIC 32 MX series. Okay, so we are concentrating on XC8 compiler and Mplab. It could be X IDE, I mean like Mplab X IDE or Mplab 8 IDE. Okay, this X is basically 10, Mplab 10. Okay, uh, and you had to download this Mplab X IDE and Mplab XC8 compiler. Okay, I'll post these two links on the bottom of the video. You can go there and download. And the best part is these tools are available for Linux, Mac also. So you can go through how to install those things in Linux and Macs. There are a lot of tutorials out there, and I believe these things will be simple. Okay, this is all about different IDEs and compilers exist for different architecture of microcontrollers. Okay, so let's look into micro C compiler, how it looks. It's basically an IDE, and you can't remove MPs, I mean like micro C compiler from the micro C IDE. Okay, so let it load. Okay, this is how it loads. You get a get started page, and welcome to Micro C Pro, and this is a non-registered version. That means this is like a demo version. It doesn't have limitation with respect to days. Okay, it has limitation with respect to uh, how much I mean, like when you compile the code, how much it can, what is the file size of the hex file it can generate? That is the limitation. Okay, so the hex file what it generate is it is up to 2k kilowords. That is what they say. Okay, but the compression ratio of the code is too high. That means you can basically build anything within that confined space, that is 2 kilowords. So probably you may not be able to run the USB code, but most of the robotic application for hobbyists and students, this is more than enough. 2 kilowords is more than enough. Okay, so let's look into how to create this project. See, as soon as you open this micro C, you get a start page and select new project. Next, and here you have to define how much of what is the crystal you are using. So my first initial videos will have 4 megahertz, and the IC what I'm going to use, that is microcontroller what I'm going to use, is PIC 18F. I'll type here. Okay, it is not getting typed there. Okay, so I had to search here. Okay, so PIC 18F4550, and it is working at 4 megahertz, and you can select where this project folder will create. Okay, mine is default users public and documents. Okay, you can change it, but for the demo purpose I'm just using. And is there any additional files you want to add? As an initial programmers, you don't have to add anything. And include files, you just say include all, that is the default. Let me show what this project window to set configuration bits is, just for a second. Okay, I mean only to for the glimpse. Okay, this is actually the project settings. That means your microcontroller setting, initial values. Okay, what is this configuration bits that I'll explain in the next video. I'm just closing this, and your project is ready. Okay, so this is what this is how you set up the project. Okay, so if you see here, you have project settings. If you don't see this project setting, you can always go to tools and sorry, view, and you can select project settings, whatever you want here. You can click, those things will appear in the left and right side of the window. Okay, so this is project settings, and there is you can always change the device here. It's not necessary that you had to start with the wizard and again rebuild everything. And this is code editor, and those things we'll see later when we enter into the programming. Okay, I'll show only one video on how to use this tool, that is microC, and you can follow this for almost all the videos, because there is no other settings what it will require. All you have to do is like just type the code here and set the things like what is the pick microcontroller and what is the frequency, set that. That is all it is required. Okay, then the interesting part here is this library. Okay, library manager. See, if you see here, it has added everything, all the libraries like ADC button and LCD I2C, probably user, everything USB, everything has been added here. But we don't want all these things. Okay. Why? Because it consumes space, because you are using. And one more thing is like I guess these libraries will not get added into compilation until unless you use the libraries. That is what I think. That is why they are able to compress so much. Okay, compress the hex file so much. But when you start here, if you are using ADC, you should make sure that this checkbox is ticked for ADC, and in case if you are using USART, this USART box has to be checked. Okay, so this is how the IDE looks, and there are a lot of tools here. This is HID terminal to check if what all USB devices are connected, and if you want ASCII chart, you have ASCII chart here. And there are a lot of things like LCD 7-segment editor. You can just select and it will give what is the value you have to put into that put into your port. Okay, so like that, there are a lot of useful tools. And UDP terminal for this is for IP. Okay, and IP in the sense internet protocol, basically Ethernet or Wi-Fi. And USB user terminal is, this is where you use this tool for user communication, that is serial communication. I'll come to those things later. Okay, and then all you have to do is like build and program in case if you have the hardware provided by PIC, like microC. Okay, so all we use here is this build all. Okay, and we'll use the hex code to burn. Okay, so the hex code will get generated into the same folder where this project exists. Okay, that is your documents, microelectronica, C program developments. Okay, whatever you have selected. Okay, so I'm not saving this. No. Now Mplab 8. Okay, this is how Mplab version 8 looks. Okay, there are a lot of options on selecting the compiler, programmer, pick it 3, pick it 2, and realize all those things. And debugger, if you select debugger tool, there is one more thing called as Mplab sim. Okay, Mplab sim is basically, it's a simulator. You can basically simulate all the pins configurations on this simulator. Because I haven't created any project, you don't get anything here. Okay, and you can select debug tools like Picket 3, realize, starter kit boards which has onboard debugging chip. Okay, so that is one more microcontroller, that's it. And you can see output, simulator logic analyzer, and I can select this. See, this is where I can see if the pin is high or low on the timeline. This is the timeline. Okay, and I can see memory gauge also. It will show how much memory is being utilized on program memory and data memory both. That is ROM and this RAM. Okay, and all the other features are the same. You can select Windows whatever you want, and configuration, select device, and you can select whichever device you want to work here. Okay. Okay, let me close this and we'll see into Mplab X, and we'll close the video. Okay, we'll stop the video here. Mplab X has a lot of things like they have changed the entire interface based on NetBeans, NetBeans IDE, and they have a lot of features added, which makes a lot of things simple. Okay, so the configuration settings or the way you used to work on Mplab is like you had to for every project you had to select where the tool suite is, and you had to change which processor header you are using in the code, which I'll show in the next video. Mplab X and XC compilers have made it very easy. Okay, so this is the quick start, I mean like start page, and you can look into all this quick start links here. Okay, so there is some update. Quick start, you click on that. So it will explain what is this IDEs and how to use it, how to create a project. Okay, and okay, that is all. It is showing all the settings like hardware settings, how to because Mplab X has a lot of things changed. Okay, it is a jump from version 8 to 10. They have changed lot of tool suites also. I mean like the connectivity between development tools is different. They have different drivers than Mplab 8. Okay, quick start, and if you come here, you can actually have a tour also. Take a tour, I guess. That is the one. Yeah, active quick time. So this video will show how to start with Mplab X. So okay, it loads and it starts explaining. They start explaining the video. Okay, so in next video I'll show how Mplab X IDE works. Okay, I'll make a different video for 8 and X, so you can use them. And you can if you have Mplab 8, if you have worked previously, you can actually import Mplab 8 projects from here. Okay, import, and you can import hex files and Mplab IDE version 8 projects also. So you can do that. You can basically migrate from version 8 to X just by importing them. Okay, it do take backup of those things. Okay, so next we have Windows, and you can go to some settings like you can view pick memory views here. The menu is being changed. Okay, so pick, I mean like Mplab 8 had a view and then the memory window, but it comes to Windows here. Okay, so you have to open the Windows tab, and you have a lot of things like simulator. You can analyze IO pins. Okay, so what is IO pins? Let me see. I don't know if why it is not opening. Okay, never mind. And pick memory views I can see, and then I can use the configuration bits. Okay, if you remember the configuration window or project editor what I opened in micro C, it's the same thing, like same thing here. Okay, so you can come here and set the settings for microcontroller. Okay, in the basics of microcontroller, the one next video, I mean like the parallel video for the um, this session, you will understand what all these configuration settings are. Okay, so I'll explain those. There will be a theory video on those things, theoretical video. Let's look into dashboard. Is there navigation, debugging? So you can select the debugging breakpoints, sessions and all. And the one more thing I wanted to show you is okay, code configurator. Okay, see, this is a plugin. Okay, so embedded and code configurator, which works only on these PIC microcontrollers. Okay, so here you can just configure pins like is it input, output, what is the state of it, whether it is on or off. All those things you can just do in the GI based window. Okay, so I'll show that in next video, and all others are same, like run, debug is there, navigate. The best part is like in the Mplab X IDE is like autofill feature is there, and you can jump to code. Like if you have a function, you can directly go to that function definition just by right clicking on it. Okay, so I'll show all those things in next. Okay, before closing up with this video, before completing the session, I would like to show you one more IDE development tool. This is called as GreatCow Basic. That is basic programming language is what it is using. They have something called as GreatCow Graphical Basic. Okay, so if you open that, okay, this is actually a visual programming tool. All you have to do is like draw the code. Okay, instead of coding in with keyboard, you can just do it by mouse. Okay, so all you have to do is like drag and drop the this is like a control features and input output communication. They have display 7 segment. They have timers, variables, miscellaneous, and subroutines also. Okay, so if you want to blink an LED or set the set the LED to high, you can just drag and drop those controls and okay, so then it will work accordingly. Okay, it's not showing anything because I haven't selected the pick. Okay, so which device I am using, I didn't select. Okay, so if chip model is nothing, I didn't select anything. Okay, so let me select PIC 18F4550 and I had to set the megahertz crystal. Okay, so this will be 4 megahertz and I'm saying okay. Okay, now I'll see. Now array. Okay, now I can see all the port names here. Okay, so if I want a pulse out on port A0, I can just select that, and what is the length I can type here. Okay, and timing units is in 50 milliseconds. Okay, hour, minute, second, millisecond, microsecond, 10 microsecond. Okay, they have all the options here. So this is how it works, and very interesting tool. Okay, if anyone are interested in just writing some code but don't want to learn all the C basic or Pascal and all, so they can just use this tool. And there are different tools like uh, there are different tools like blocks 12, I guess, and there are Pickaxe is one of the company which has the same kind of graphical tool by which you can program the PIC microcontroller. Okay, so I'm just closing this. I'm not using anything. Okay, so let me close this also. Okay, so I think that's it. I have shown with all the things. In case if you are interested, you can go to microchip and product section and browse some PIC microcontroller um, page. Okay, so if you go there, okay, so they have the section 8-bit PIC, 16-bit and 16-bit DS PIC and 32-bit. Okay, never mind. We are interested in PIC 18 microprocessors, microcontrollers. Okay, you can go through these things, like they have a lot of features labeled here, like they have put a list of features and in which PIC how many features are there, like how many UART are there, how many ADC channels are there. You can just go through these things. Okay, so it will give you a fair idea on how these picks are different and why so many models exist. Okay, so I think that's it. That is all about IDEs and compilers. So in next video I'll show how micro C works and Mplab X and Mplab 8 works. Okay, thank you.